Hello, Amherst County School Community. I'm Rob Arnold, Superintendent, and today is April 14th, 2020. First, I'd like to wish everybody a happy Easter. I hope that everybody had some time over the weekend to at least spend a little bit of time with your family. So I hope that was restful for everyone. I'm coming to you today. It's been about a week since we've spoken last, and I want to talk a little bit about where we are now. Some updates on where we are now, and then to start looking into the future. I know in past videos we've not looked at a lot of the things that are coming up, but I'd like to do that today and give you some thoughts about what's to come. Before we get started, I want to thank some people. There are a lot of people in Amherst County Public Schools that are doing great work. They're doing this work in a higher risk environment, and I'd like to thank the transportation department, the school nutrition department, the maintenance department. Those guys have been out every day distributing meals, and we want to thank them for giving back to this community. I also want to thank our instructional staff, our teachers, our support staff. They've been doing a lot of work in the last month to get our academics and learning opportunities up to speed. I'd like to thank you parents. I know this is a very difficult time. It's a very difficult job to do the things that you were already doing and then try to teach your children at the same time. So we look to provide you some support, but I want to thank you right now for all that you're doing. And finally, I want to thank our community. Our community, once again, continues to step up. I'll talk a little bit about that throughout this video, but our community has given back to us as well. So I just want to say I'm really proud to be a part of the Amherst County Public School community. I think based on the things that we have done for our students in this community in the last month has really set us apart from other localities, and I really think that we've become a leader in this area, and so I want to thank all of our staff for helping us become the leader in this really uncertain time. So just want to say that I'm very proud to be a part of this team. So I want to provide some updates now. Our first update is about food delivery. You've probably heard a lot of places are cutting back on their food delivery back to 2-3 days a week. We will continue to provide food delivery every day, every weekday that is, Monday through Friday from 10 to 12. And we will keep our same locations. Just some information about food delivery. We are averaging still about 2,000 meals a day, and on Fridays an additional 500 plus bags are going out from Amherst Cares for weekend meals, and so there still is a great need, and it's still important for us to be out there every day providing those meals. The last time we spoke, I discussed our lack of providing emotional supports. Since that time, we have done a few things. Hopefully you have received a call from your school, whether that's your administrator or your counselor. If you haven't, those are still coming, but we wanted to make sure we were just checking in with students and families to see if there was any other supports that we could provide. Last Tuesday, a podcast went up. We spoke to our 3 psychologists, our school psychologists, who gave a lot of great advice on how to look for changes in emotions and the behavior of your child, and how to speak about this pandemic, and what are some ways to kind of to help your child emotionally, and as, for that matter, yourself, how to deal with these things as it has become a very difficult situation to get through. There's also in our learning packet and online that you'll be getting this Friday, there are some instructions or lessons in there that help with social and emotional support as well. I want to talk a little bit about what we've done with internet availability. We understand that reliable high-speed internet is a problem for many in the Amherst County community, and so we are doing some things to try to make that better. We are providing free Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi to from our schools to all of our community. We have gotten a great partnership with ITG, Integrated Technology Group, and they have put antennas up outside of each of our buildings to move our signal even further out, so several hundred yards around our building. Our Wi-Fi capability should be available for public. And so if you come to the school, you park in the parking lot, you find that access. It is the username is public, and the password is welcome02.9. And once you've logged on, you can use the internet there. We understand that having high-speed, reliable internet is very important, especially as you do some of this at-home learning. We also are working on putting internet access on some buses, and we're still working on that. We tested some out last week, and we're also waiting for some products to come in from like Verizon to get those things up and running, so we can push even further out into our community internet access. So we know that that's a huge issue, and we're working on that to help our community with that. The last bit of information I want to share, and this is where we start looking forward, and it is with academics and our work. And so this upcoming Friday, the 17th, from 10 to 12, so when we normally do our food pickup, we will be distributing our packets again. So for grades pre-K through 2, we will have printed packets that we'd like for you to come and pick up. For grades 3 through 8, you have two options. You can come and pick up the flash drive to get the new learning opportunities, or if you have fast, high-speed, reliable internet, you can just go online and go to at-home learning on our website, and you can pick up that material from our website. But if you do not have high-speed, reliable internet, then we urge you to come in and bring your old flash drive in and pick up your new flash drives. Now, the material that we are distributing Friday and that's going up on our website should move us through June 1st. So it's going to be about 6 weeks of material that are on these flash drives. We recommend you take your time. It is actually laid out by our staff in weekly increments. So once you go in and look at it, you'll see how we've set it up. But it is really, really important to urge you to stay engaged with this material, to actually work on this material. We understand that it's not being graded, but that doesn't mean it's not important. And so I want to share with you a slide. So we're going to use a little bit of technology here. So I'm going to move to a slide that I'd like for you to look at, and I'm going to kind of go through it to try to show you why it's so important for us to continue to stay engaged with our learning. So this slide shows math scores. And so if you're familiar with the term summer slide, what that means is when a student finishes the year, they're at a certain level. And over the summer, if there's not other learning opportunities, there is learning loss until we start the next school year. Well, what this document shows, there's a company called the Northwest Education Association, and they have a product called MAP testing. And MAP testing is used throughout the country to show growth, students' growth over the course of a year. And since it's a national test, we can make assumptions that all students kind of fit into this category. And so if you look on the far left, it's you see a RIT score, R-I-T, and RIT is just the score that is available on this MAP test. And so you can see at the bottom it goes from 180 all the way up to 240. So if you look at it, it shows here 3rd grade, then you have 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade. And these scores, where it starts, So for example, the third grade right here, it shows the RIT score at about, it's probably about 187 for most third graders or the normal third grader will start at 187. And so if you follow this line, it will land here. All right, so that line shows where most third graders in the United States made it to until March 13th. So when we closed on March 13th, this is where the normal third grader would have gotten to. And that puts those students closer to about a 200 RIT score. And if you follow that line out, typically the last day of school, which is for us about June 1st, it gets up well just above 200 in their RIT score. Now, what Summer Slide shows you is this line going down to here. So if there are no resources and students just play video games all summer and do nothing else, they're going to lose some of that and some of that learning from the year in math. Now, what is most important though for you to see is we travel down this line, and I'm trying to go as straight as possible, and I know it's not great, but this line takes you to what they're calling the COVID-19 slide. And so that slide, that loss of learning, is pretty significant. So if you follow here, that is pretty significant learning loss. And as you see in the lower grades, it's greater than it is in the higher grades. So if you can follow that for every grade, but what it shows is that it's very, very important for us to continue to stay engaged with our students, even though it's difficult and even though it's hard to do during the day. We really recommend that you continue to do this work. One of the things that we're going to do to support the parent and the student is we're going to ask, or we have asked the teachers to remain in contact with you, to get in contact with you. In the last couple of weeks, they should have developed a communication plan with each of you that will get you to a place where what's the most appropriate means of communication with your child and with you. So if that means a phone call, that means a phone call. If that means that you have high-speed, reliable internet and you can use something like Google Meet, that is fine too. But we just want to make sure that on a weekly basis, our teachers can follow along with the learning packets, the at-home learning opportunities, to provide some support to the student and also to parents if you need that support on how to kind of move your child forward. And so I wanted to make sure you saw that document so you understood how very important it is to keep all of our students engaged in the learning opportunities that we've provided. I also want to talk a little bit about SOL's grades and promotion. The last video I laid out what we were doing. This upcoming next week, the 20th and on, our counselors will be calling each of our students to discuss those grades and promotion and what the SOLs mean. So as we talked in our last video, there are some decisions that need to be made about grades and promotion. And so that should be coming in the next week. And then the other date that is important for you to know is May 29th. And that is when report cards will go out. And so those will be able to be put into place by May 29th after our counselors have made all the calls to each student in this school division. Once we get beyond June the 1st, that's when school would have normally ended. We understand, as I showed you in that slide, how important it is to stay engaged with our students, especially now. One of the things that we are doing, we're really excited about this, is during the summer months for about 6 weeks, we were able to get an agreement with our local ABC affiliate WSET, and they're going to provide us programming space over the course of about 6 weeks for 5 hours a day for 4 days a week. And so basically Monday through Thursday from noon to 5, they will allow our teachers and our staff to present lessons, and these lessons are going to be around universal big ideas in literacy and math, science, and social studies. So look for that coming. That will actually be on their they have an affiliate channel 13.2, which you can get over air with the antenna, or your cable companies have 13.2 available. So we're really excited about that, and we'll start filming here in the next month, and those lessons will be available all throughout the summer. We'll even make those available on our website as well if you don't have 13.2. So start checking to see if you have 13.2 and be looking for that. And we'll be back with you. I know WSET is going to start promoting that as well. I'd like to leave everybody with, where we are as a country. Ultimately, we don't know when and where or when and how we're going to get back to a normal place where students are coming back to our schools every day. We don't know that information right now, but I can assure you that we have a great staff here in Amherst County, and they are working really, really hard to make sure that our needs are met right now. But they've also spent a lot of time thinking about what it's going to look like in the future and how to make sure that when your students do return, that we're ready for them and we have supports in place to get them moving forward again when it does happen. And so I'd like to, in closing, wish everybody safety. That is the most important thing right now. So I'd like for everybody to stay safe, stay engaged with your student, and please communicate with us if you have questions or you need some support. Please contact either your school or our office, and we will certainly do everything we can to provide you the support that you need. So I'd like to wish everybody a good day, and please stay safe.